It doesn't say, I agree with you. I feel that way. That makes sense, right? So validations, my spouse, and then I really respect your sacrifice, and then
This podcast shares personal stories and professional insights, but it's not a substitute for medical advice or therapy. If you're looking for support, do speak to someone qualified and trained in child development or special needs care. You'll find the full disclaimer on the screen and in the show note.
Welcome to our new episode of Adapting Together podcast. This podcast is to empower, support, and inspire parents with special needs children. Today, we are going to dive into a topic that often goes unspoken but is deeply important, which is talking about how autism diagnosis affect marital dynamics emotionally, practically, and relationally. Okay, so joining me today is Dr. Tay, the co-founder and also the director of the Bridge International Hub, a counselor center. Dr. Tay holds a PhD in marriage and family therapy from Daybreak University from California. She also earned a master in professional counseling from Washington University in Virginia. Dr. Tay is licensed clinical professional counselor and also a certified imago relationship therapist.
correct.
Yeah. So she has more than 10 years of clinical experience working with individuals, couples, and also families. Dr. Tay is very passionate about helping couples to build stronger relationships and more connected relation. Yeah, I'm Sini, and I'm the co-host for today's episode, and Kevin is also another co-host for today's episode. Okay, so Dr. Tay, thank you so much for accepting and saying yes to doing this podcast with us. Today, we would go into the topic. The title of our topic today will be Us Against the World, Strengthening Marriage While Raising an Autistic Children. Yeah. So first thing first, I think looking at the first moments about initial impacts of the diagnosis, what are some, based on your experience, what are some common emotional responses that may differ between spouses once they receive the news about,
I think in the beginning, the very significant, emotion created because they have a lot of expectation for the children.
Yes.
And so what they listening to the diagnosis, and then the birth is like a shock, and then grief,
shock, yes.
and also a lot of adjustments going on. So and then the future of anxiety is come. So they don't know how to treat this stress. That's the first step, and then there are different facing of the stress. The husband and a wife, and they don't know how to deal with this new news about the baby, right? So the difference of their adopting makes a conflict too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
I mean, as a parents, we always maybe even before the child is born, we already think about we want to do this together, we want to plan this together, where the child should study in the future, and definitely this news is like something that just say, hang on, everything you want to do, you have to put on hold, and no one can tell us when there will be an ending actually, and that's where it's so heavy and it's not easy.
Exactly, and then the expression is totally different. One spouse wanna hold, think, how can we treat this, journey, the life journey, and then the other spouse maybe right away solve the problem, and then two different way make a conflict. Yeah.
And I mean, husband and wife, the whole thing, the child needs the support, and it would be a lot better if both can work as a team. But if one wants to run forward, the other one is still having a hard time adjusting and accepting, I think that is where the conflict might arise. Yeah.
So I heard about like as the couple process this diagnosis, they are like it's common like each of this couple they have different way to to cope with this expectation. I think for example like one may do an action like just do research and take action soon, or maybe another couple might need more time to process emotionally. Okay, so in talking in cases like that, right, how can this couple like recognize and also respect each other, like you have different way of coping mechanism?
Yeah, when we talk about this one, we have to think of three things. Because why we different reacting about this news, right? Number one is personalities. So as a spouses and I, it's a different personality. Second one is a prior experience, how we cope these difficulties, right? And then these three things. Number one, personality. Second one is prior experience, and then number three is like coping mechanism. So think about. So as a husband and I, when you have a conflict, and then I trying to step back and then think a lot of story assumption I'm making. Right, and then husband says, "Yeah, let's go and then find the doctor, and then what's the good way, right?" And then it's because in his family system, we have system. We have to think about the system is very important. Husband's family system is right away doing that way. And then my system in my family is growing up. I experience a lot like my parents is like talking themselves, holding on, and then resolve later. So it's different. It's like a rule of a family teaching, or it's like a education.
It's like our program, we are programmed in a very different way. So say that you were saying that the husband, maybe they grew up, the whole family, the way they do things is when you see fire, you put out the fire. But maybe the wife family is when you see fire, let's think about what caused the fire and find out what is the best thing to put out the fire. So that will cause like a tension because it will create another differences in expectation.
Yeah. So think about expectation, assumptions, and making story. It's three things is making conflict.
Okay.
And these are the things that overall they contribute to a differences in how each of the person cope, right? So in this instance, how can we or the husband and wife try to take a step back and recognize that we are different, and therefore there's no right or wrong in the way you cope with the news?
You know what? When in conflict, our brain is working only this part. It's like it's like a survival mode. So what is wrong? What is right and wrong mode, right? So whenever my spouse said, I mode is like, okay, I'm right, you're wrong. That kind of mode, right? So we have to calm down first. Why I'm upset? Why? Because of him, because of my children, because of my prior experience or family rule. It's like a coping mechanism. So when we think about this one, and then we have to communicate with the spouse. So without thinking about this one, we just without boundary each other, we not respect each other's boundary. We keep saying that, but my spouse not listening to me.
Okay. So I heard a lot of doctors keep saying understand why the cause of him maybe responding in such a way before we can communicate better. Okay.
Yes, communicate better.
Yes.
So knowing myself
is
very important.
Knowing like how I think
it's so difficult, right?
Yes.
It's definitely not easy because a lot of emotions are involved, right?
Emotions,
And
yes.
you involve another person's emotion when they are bitching and everything.
Yeah. Because we are right now brain, so we can say the three different big parts. It's like here 1, 2, 3, right? So first is the number one is we call the reptilian brain. It's like a survival mode. And the second one is like memorial brain. It's like a lot of emotions, connections. And then the last part is the frontal cortex. It's like we can finding a reason why, and then we can think, we can judge, criticize here. But when you in state of a conflict, our brain is here, so we cannot find a good solution.
The front brain is the one that gives us the ability to be as a human, to plan and think. But when you are in high stress emotion, the brain that is hijacked is the one that's from the behind. So we need to step back and have some awareness, right?
Yeah, so mindfulness is very important.
How do you help yourself to be more mindful in high stress time like this?
How do you do? It's like a stay away first.
Stay away.
Number one, stay away. Or you count down myself. Breathe in and out. And then we feel sensing the five sense, checking my five sense. But you know what? Most people, it's hard to check the five senses at the moment, right? So it's the best way. I ask my client just to stay away a little bit. It's okay. The 3 minutes, 4 minutes is okay. Just stay away. And then breathe in and out. My spouse is not my enemy.
Okay.
So my enemy is like our dynamic. It's a pattern is our dynamic, our enemy. And then coming back and then ask my spouse, are you available to talk?
I see.
Calm down and ask. To bring out the communication.
Thanks for sharing that perspective. I think this is very useful for just couples in general. It's not just for, right? Yeah. It's a good
Even
tip.
at work also makes full use, right?
It's a technique that can be applied when you're in a stressful situation.
Think about the children, and then my child keep asking me and bragging something like that, and then just think. So my children and my child's brain mode is like here right now, but we are react. We are making the conflict involved getting bigger and bigger. So in my mind, my child is like mode here, survival mode. We are the parents is already grown up, so we have to think about here.
Okay.
Using this brain.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for sharing from that perspective. All right. Right. So so just now we talked about there are really real differences, right, between the couples. So realistically, I think when coming to about division of responsibilities, it's still very natural. Like in a relationship, one partner maybe would be more responsibility for like the daily management, or another partner maybe in taking up other responsibility. So they might be shared roles about the child, but it's maybe unequal loads sometimes. Okay, so especially in many Malaysian households too. So how can couples like that have really honest conversation about balancing emotional and also physical workload?
I think whoever bring out that issues maybe already burn out. Right? I just think about, so make a list what I can do, what I cannot do. Make a list. And then honestly tell the spouse, I think I'm doing this way. I think I need your help. Honestly. I think what you can do, what you cannot do. Maybe we cannot do, we can ask somebody else.
Okay.
I think make a list why I might make it really easy to upset and then burn out, and then I don't want to do, sometimes hopeless, right? There's that time is a sign, is to make a list what I cannot do.
Sorry, just to clarify, Dr. Tay, are you suggesting that we list down what are the things or activities involving taking care of the child? So let's say there's 30 to 50 items, then both the husband and wife sit down when they are calm, maybe play some good music, relaxing music, then they go through the list. Okay, this one I can do, I'm comfortable. This one I'll take. So volunteer, if there's no volunteer, then only they negotiate.
Great. Yeah, you
Let's say
know
some
that.
of the things, it's not, I also don't want to do, or I'm not confident, or you got no time to do, then maybe we start to think, can we get help from third party or outsource?
Exactly.
That's a very helpful tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never too late to practice that also.
Yeah. And then just, you know what? Think about the assumptions. If I have a lot of, housework or caring, so maybe each spouse thinking, I'm doing more than you. So we have to bring out, honestly, I'm doing this one. And that means it's kind of the basic of I statements. Have everybody heard a lot of times about that. We should communicate in I statements. So bring out I statements way is kind of I feel like burnout or stressed, and they make I can do this one. So I'm doing this way, and then how do you think? And then ask. This is my I statement of activity to apply to the couple.
I do more, I'm more tired, something like that, right?
Yeah, so sometimes you're doing not this one, you're not doing this one. And even though I ask you, you're not doing this one, I'm doing this much, not this way. This way is you statements, but honey, I write down this much. Because I feel like I'm too stressed. So how do you think? It's kind of when your wife asks you, then how do you respond to this?
That's the thing, my wife never really asked me to do things. And I have to have the awareness and take the initiative to not let her do too many things, and I have to offer something to help. So can have some I statement, but sometimes you also have to replace the I to do something instead of like pointing finger, that kind of I, and something like that. So I think it takes a lot of awareness as well.
Yeah. So how do you think you respond if your wife bring this paper to you?
Ask me to do things. So I won't say I statement. I'll ask, can you give me an iPhone, not I statement. So I will take a look at what are the things. Of course, if there are things that are within my ability, I would definitely. It's my son, it's my child. So, but if there's something that I don't feel capable and competent enough, but does it mean that I should deny the responsibility? I think that one also is a food for thought. Because if I always tell myself I cannot do because I don't know how to do, then I will forever don't know how to do. So I guess it goes back to the prior experience part that you touched on.
Yes. You know what? This kind of communication interactions, we are using front cortex.
Analytical, Don't want more problem.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay, so is there any tips or any other healthy ways when coming to ask for help or express that you're struggling, so that your spouse wouldn't feel that you're blaming them or sounds always very negative?
Yes. You know what? I think the ratio, positive reactions, negative reactions, if a very good relationships, the couple is very good relationship, the ratio is like what? Guess.
50-50?
50-50? It's a one to one. It's kind of very dangerous relationship.
Oh, okay.
So 5 to 1. It's a positive, reaction is positive, communication is 5, and the negative is 1.
Okay.
It's very good relationship. So whoever divorced relationship, when I said research said 1 to 1.25, that means you said
One.
50-50, right?
Okay.
It's a divorce, the way for the divorce
I
relationship.
see. Okay.
So that's why, as your question is like, how can you bring out the good communication, right? I think that you should know your spouse first. For example,
How do you understand women?
how do you? That's why we should have a knowledge of my spouse. A lot of people has no knowledge. We are keep studying about something else, or making money, or about, right? But most of couple has no knowledge of my spouse. What is my love language? So we know, we have heard the love language, right?
Yes.
So affirmation,
Yeah.
gift, is some like act of service kind of things.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'm sure my wife knows my love language is food.
act of service. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. At least we should know my spouse love language. And then secondly, you know what? I ask boundary. Is are you available to talk this time?
Okay.
And then make a small ritual in relationship. It's okay. It doesn't have to be big party or big. It's kind of an event. It's like small talk. It's like whatever. So in my conversation, one thing that you remember, you appreciate about your wife is
She's very no temper.
no temper.
She also loves my son a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I think she loves him more than love me. So I think it's good.
So see, he knew right away. He can answer, right? You can express to your wife.
Oh.
Very important thing is number one. You know what? Eye contact.
Eye contact.
It's like the wife is so busy to wash dishes or cleaning, then I keep talking about, oh, I appreciate about this. No, it's like eye contact. One thing that I really appreciate about you today is this. I know in the beginning it feels so uncomfortable, but your relationship, your positive, your interactions goes down to children.
Yes. It's the environment thing of how the children grows up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But doctor, just now you mentioned about dividing the task, right? I think it would be helpful to have a proper time and environment to talk about this, but not simply, oh, you are back, so I list out these. This is what you need to do. I think it will backfire. Correct?
No, I think set a time together. It's a 1 minute, 2 minutes. So time is not a matter. Quality is the matter.
Have to be present and really,
Yes.
Thank you.
You knowing very well.
I learned from experience.
Okay, so next question. Coming into like some parents would give up their careers or lifestyle dreams in order to take care of their child. Okay, so how can couples navigate this without resentment building over time?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Who stop not working career, stop the career is whose idea? Is it both idea?
Okay.
Or wife idea? Or everybody ask?
Yeah, makes
So-
a difference.
That makes difference a lot.
Okay.
And then even though I'm encouraged why to keep the career,
Okay.
because the stage is in general we can stage in the family has 5 different stage, and the forming stage is like making family, and the second is extension stage of family. That means like delivering the baby, having baby, raising kids, right? I think right now this situation is the expansion stage. Expansion stage, both partner and me is focused on the parenting, right? So I think after they grown up, and then wife, and then give up, right?
Yes.
And then focus on the parenting,
Yes.
and then feels maybe regret a lot
Yes.
of the
Yes.
losing her
Yeah.
career, right?
Yes.
So I hope really I encouraging them to keep the career, but can make it manageable
Okay.
working hour.
Yeah.
So can both can
Yeah.
do that. So
More.
when they grown up, they can less stress about emptiness.
Okay. So you're saying instead of letting it go completely, but make it smaller step and more manageable. So
Yes.
when my kid grow up, the gap is not so big that I couldn't catch up.
Yes.
In
Yes.
yeah, when I want to return back to my career. Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good suggestion. Yes.
Yeah, because this is my experience. I raising two kids as an immigrant family. I have no family at all around me. Even though my parents-in-law living close to me, but she's sick, so cannot help me. So and then I also study and then working. So but I didn't give up my study and then working. But I get just a less work and then less study. But I keep balancing is more important.
Balancing
Balance
is the key word.
Keyword,
Yes.
I think if there's a proper discussion, then the couple might avoid making a quick decision that they later have resentment and maybe even regrets also.
Yeah.
All right. So about these sacrifices that has been that might happen, are there any healthy ways to process and discuss all this discussion?
I think one spouse feels like I'm doing most,
Okay.
right? And then also I said is bring out honestly and then tell I feel this way, and then discuss about this one. This will help. Yeah.
Okay.
The context of sharing the how I feel is to invite understanding, but it's not to like blame, correct?
Exactly. And then at this point, as a validation is so important. Validation is not it doesn't say I agree with you. I feel that way. That makes sense, right? So validations, my spouse, and then I really respect your sacrifice, and then if them thank you for telling me this, bring out this one, and then so appreciation, and then tell the honest is more important.
Honesty is very important. Transparency as well. Yeah.
But being honest that means interactions, so relationships, each spouse feel safe, so can bring out. If feels not safe, cannot say that, right? How can make our conversation or communication or relationship make safe?
How?
How?
How? Do you have a way of?
Come to my session.
That's one way for sure. Yeah, that's one way.
I teach you very structured way.
You need a professional to guide and facilitate conversation that high stake like this, because otherwise, having a good intention, I share about how I feel, but I get reactions that is discounting everything I feel, then it will actually have an opposite result. And that's why counselor like you are very important and invaluable to people.
Yeah, So when couple comes, so my client is not the house or husband or wife. My client is the relationship. So the relationship, how you make this dynamic pattern is the problem.
And you can provide a safe space, emotionally, physically, and whatnot, right? I'm just curious, Doctor, why is it common for physical or emotional intimacy to take a back seat in a journey where high stake conversation is involved?
Because as I said, your stage right now is expansion stage, right? So more focus on caring children. So it's like instead of having a good time, you are focused on the raising kids. So they make them feel it's like intimacy is so later. It's not for us, right?
Okay.
But you know what? Small things, as I said, small times as a maker, it's like date night. To make up date nights is like a Friday, Saturday, and then 1 hour, 2 hour having good time is bring your energy or a good how can I say help the parenting to each other in the family.
So you're saying settings a time, like put it in, still have to spend time to spend time with each other, allocate that in your schedule.
Yeah, as a ritual, make a ritual.
Yes, make it like a habit to also do it consistently.
Because in the expansion stage, they might forget that we are lover also. We are too focused on becoming father and mother and forget about one another. So set a schedule, launch your calendar, block a time. This is with my spouse time or whatever time you want to call it. It will help add a lot of love back to your relationship for sure. And come to visit Dr. Faye.
Good job.
Okay, so yeah, so I've learned a lot. Like previously, the previous one we talked about how to make connection, and then about share different roles in the couples. So even there's a lot of tips or healthy ways that we can practice and learn all these things, even though in a strong relationship. But sometimes conflict can still happen, especially when it's really stressful time. Okay, so I think a big part of it is to also about fighting fair and resolving conflict. How can couples fight with love, or or addressing conflict in a more healthy way without harming the relationship? Yes.
You know what?
Yeah.
In couple relationship, fighting is a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
If no fight, no interest each other.
No emotional attachment.
No emotion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
want something from my spouse, right? Expectation.
Yeah.
That's why it's fight. So when a negative feeling or it's just like a begging or it's whatever is making bad negative situations come. Oh, okay. It's time to talk.
Okay.
This is the time to talk.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we didn't think about the ritual small step. It's like a date night.
Yes.
So we have to make a date night and then having good time. So to good time, we have to have a individually the spouse has a how can I say space.
Space. Yeah.
Do you mean like your own time with yourself?
Own time. It's like, well, if I'm not healthy, I cannot care about others, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am really upset at this one, stressed, the burnout. I can bring out the good things from me.
Yep.
So first, the self-care. Secondly, I have to check it out when we are in conflict. Check it out myself first, and secondly, it's the time to talk.
Okay. Yeah. So I heard about doctors taking care of our own self first. Then we can talk about the
Yeah.
conflict and
Yes.
problems.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
okay.
Why I really upset at
Good.
this one?
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay. Finding out the reason also what makes you upset. Okay.
Many times not because of my spouse. Many times because of me.
I see. Okay.
And if talking doesn't help, come here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what role does forgiveness play in a long-term partnership through tough season like this?
Forgiveness.
Yes.
Right. Forgiveness. I think to forgive someone, I must have a compassion heart on myself first.
Okay.
Because without this one, I cannot forgive somebody. So talk to yourself. It's okay to not be perfect. Not only me, my spouse also. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. We are imperfect human beings. So we are making mistake. So number one, forgive myself and then forgive my spouse. That makes a space to appreciate each other.
Is there a possibility that in the quest of trying to forgive the spouse, I force myself to forget about my own needs and my priorities?
How do you think?
I think there is a chance this might happen, especially when we feel that it doesn't help, it won't change, even I try to express my own voice or whatever. And I think this is not a good sign also over the long run.
So thinking about forgiveness means I need forgiveness. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it
yes.
makes perfect
yes.
sense.
Yes. Okay. So, right. So I think Doctor has shared with us a lot of very powerful tips and tools also how to manage have a better relationship. Let's talk about towards partnership, meaning like we don't want to avoid conflict, but how can we still, like a couple, how can they still withstand hard moments in hard times, from evolve from managing crisis to truly become a team with shared goals for the family and the child? How can they do that?
You know what? At the conflict, as I say, argument, conflict is not a matter. How
Yes.
to resolve
Yes.
this one is
Yes.
the matter,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So when that happened, so I'm sorry. Can you ask again?
Okay, so so talking about now like towards partnership, so how can couples evolve from managing crisis to truly become a team with shared goals for family and child?
You know what? I can say teamwork.
Okay, yeah.
Think about teamwork. You want to be my spouse as a teamwork, also, or partner.
Okay, yes.
So to be, think of my spouse is a partner as a same teamwork to raising kids, right?
Okay.
So which part is better? So your teamwork, my teamwork or partner?
Could you explain how do they look different in these
Partner,
two? Yeah.
it's an intimate relationship. Partner, teamwork is like functioning. Raising kids as a parents, we are doing functioning as a parents. The partner is not the including functioning as a relationship with each other as in an intimate way.
Okay.
You do relationship with partner, intimate relationship. Can you do that? Of course you can do that. But we think about my spouse as a partner, not only teamwork.
Okay. So be a team member.
Team member. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So think about my spouse as team member or partner.
See. Okay.
The partner So feels how you feel. If your spouse is a partner, not only team member,
Can hug her?
that makes you feel
Love, supported, yeah, complete.
you get an answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so talking about this, be a team member, in a relationship. What are some long-term relationship mindset that that have helped couples stay strong in their relationship? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so long-term relationship means
Yeah.
like we are hiking mountain, right?
Yeah.
So when you see the top, that makes you feel stressful and exaggerate, or it's
Yeah.
like feel I don't want to go. Like it's too high. It's just there, right?
Too far to see.
Too far to see. So the tip is you stay. What is the other way then?
Don't look too far. Don't think too far.
Yes. Instead of that,
Cannot get there if you cannot even figure out your next step.
yeah. So you can see then what you can do,
You can continue.
continue, and then you can see side.
Yes.
When you see the long run, to go to the long run, the small step, and then see outside to enjoy. That means I have to solve this problem, or I have to raise my kids perfectly very well. If your focus is like that one, that makes you feel really tired.
Okay, I think this is very powerful. So setting small goals,
Small goals.
one step at a time,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And okay,
Then-
instead of just look at the end goal. Yeah.
And then check it out
Yes.
what my kids did today, and then just appreciate myself.
Appreciate
Your presence as a partner, and being a parent is appreciate myself. Just go to the wrong one.
Okay.
Of course, we have to appreciate my spouse, but very important is appreciate myself.
And also appreciate the child.
Of course.
Celebrate all their little improvement and progress. Yeah. It's actually very big, very brave and courageous for the children who are on the spectrum to learn things. Yeah.
Exactly. That's when you small step up. As we step up, you can see side. If we see wrong run on the top, we cannot see side.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think this is where a lot of frictions can come out because we are focusing too far away and we forget about being in the present.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we're coming to the end of this podcast. So if a couple is listening to this and feels like they are barely hanging on, what are the one thing you want them to hear right now?
You are doing well. No doubt. Okay. You are doing the best. We know. Every parents want to raise kids very well and want to be a good parents, right? So don't give up. Then say yourself, it's okay not to be perfect.
I appreciate your openness also, yeah, and generosity.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Tay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for your time and
Thank
hosting
you.
us.
Thank you, Sini.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Kevin.
Thank you.
We say bye-bye to the camera.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.